Hello, this is Judith Manriquez, and you're listening to You Are the Dream podcast. Today we're going to be talking about being an empath and how that has been slowing me down in my business. And this is also going to include conversations about how we flow our energy and its relevance in this new Earth 5D energy. I would love to encourage you to stick around to the end where I'll be sharing some personal messages. And for now, let's dig into what I have to share with you all. So this is inspired by an awareness I had a couple of days ago when I woke up. I've been really working on growing my business, and it's a new focus. I've been honing down the focus of my work, and I continually, because of the practice that I have in terms of being really reflective and connecting to myself in meditation or in that twilight state, I really like to check in for what's in my highest good. And I do this pretty consistently as I've been focusing on growing my business. And I got this message or awareness this couple of days ago that I thought would be really helpful to share with other people. And this could apply to anyone who is sensitive to energy. I'm choosing to focus it down to being an empath because for me, it has shown up as a compensating behavior that I learned as an empath. And I never would have put those two things together. Being an empath, the way I learned to run my energy as an empath, and then how that is actually slowing me down in my business. So let me walk you through how this has been working for me. I've been an empath my whole life. Didn't know I was an empath until my mid-30s, and even when I found out in my mid-30s, it's not like there was a lot of information around there. I just had a really spectacular mentor. And so I understood it conceptually, which was I could feel other people's energy and would then be able to respond to it to offer them some kind of support that was going to make them feel better. In the process, I would feel more tired and I would feel like I didn't want to hang out in crowds or be around a lot of people because it was very exhausting. Okay, so that's a pretty standard storyline for an empath, right? This is the kind of thing that's happened to many of us. As a result of being an empath my whole life and being able to do those things, I learned a lot of compensating behaviors. And in retrospect, I can see what they were. I can understand why I set them up, but we all create compensating behaviors when we have so much dissonance in our system. So when we are helping other people and uplifting them as an empath, we are simultaneously diminishing ourselves, pouring our energy into someone else, often to our own detriment. And we develop mental behaviors and energetic and emotional behaviors to compensate for that thing we're doing that diminishes us. What I learned, and this is more developmental, that I don't see shared as often, so here's my sharings with you that it may be beneficial to you as an empath. When we share our energy out to others, because that's what you're doing. It's not just that you are feeling someone else's energy, you are sharing your energy with someone else. And in many instances, the reason you feel depleted is because you're flowing your own energy from your own energy systems into someone else to uplift them, to help them feel better, to fill in the places where they feel insecure, inadequate, unhappy, depressed, whatever it is. When you do this, you're flowing it directly out of your own energy field in order to compensate or to support someone else. Okay? Not everyone can feel this and perceive this. And for a really, really long time, I didn't either. I was not aware that that was happening. And as I became more and more clear in myself and what I was doing and what patterns I have and cleaning out old things and old behaviors, I've began to be able to perceive this. So it's conscious awareness that helped me perceive this. I don't see energy and I don't particularly feel energy, but I suspect that it's a part of the claircognizance, the way that I know things. So I know that as an empath, we will flow energy out to people, even when we cannot understand it or perceive it or sense it. So one of the best things you can do as an empath is to reset your energy system. And this is a very intentional thing. It is about sitting down and consciously acknowledging and recognizing when you're doing it, stopping yourself, and then reset it. And it's follow the energy that you're sending out, stop it, and intend that the energy flow through you from source, out through your heart, to the other person. And that stops the energy circuit of you using your energy out to another person. When you flow source energy out to the other person, then they receive a much cleaner type of support than we're able to offer, because the support we offer is colored through our lenses and our issues. And when we offer our energy to another person, we are diminishing their own power and their own autonomy. So, as an empath, I think it's our responsibility to learn to manage our energy in this way, to control the way we empath and to stop using our energy and instead use our intent. And if you're willing to be a vehicle for support, then you can choose to flow your energy that way. Okay, so this has been something that I've learned over time. It makes it a lot easier to not deplete myself when I'm around other people. I'm still really sensitive to other people's energy. I can still feel it. I also do not then deplete myself in that. I'm just more aware. It's like hanging out with a lot of loud noises. You know, at some point it's too much and we need to get away. So it's similar in that way. So for the awareness that I received is that pattern that I've had, which is a habit, it was a habit that I built as a child for my own health and well-being. I think we all do this. Like, you empath somebody else and you give them something so they'll feel better, so that the energy that they're emitting is cleaner and smoother and feels better to you, because a happier and better feeling person feels a lot better than someone who's unhappy. So if we can help someone else be happy, then we get to feel their happy energy and it feels a lot better in our field, right? We feel better because they feel better. We develop this habit. It is a habit, and our behavior can often be very unconscious. But that same habit can carry out in all kinds of different ways. And for me, and here's the takeaway for today, for me, that habit of checking in somewhere else and then adjusting what I'm doing to support or benefit the external reality is the habit that I caught and that I've been doing in my business. So see if you're doing this too. I'm really, really good at checking, and I want to check in on my business to see how it's doing and what can I do to be more successful? What can I do to get this thing to work better? And another way of saying that is, how can I do this and get it right? For me, that's the way it works. If you follow human design, for me, this is the combination of the 1-3 profile. That's how it plays out for me. So I will check in with my business energetically. I can do it mentally, right? But there is something going on in my energy where I'm continually checking with my energy to my business energetically to see what it is saying to me about the choices I want to make. Should I release this program? Should it include this many people? How many pieces? What will be most beneficial? Those are a lot of the thoughts that go on in my head about it. I know a lot of other entrepreneurs do as well, because I hear them also. But every single time that I send out my energy to check on my business to see if this is going to uplift my business, whatever idea I'm checking out, I'm doing myself a disservice because I'm sending my energy out of myself to find an answer. And we all know that with energy work, we have to center ourselves. We have to bring the energy back to ourselves and find the answer that's in alignment for us before we can take it out into the world. This was eye-opening for me. It's a simple tweak, and for me it was a simple tweak, and for you it might be something different because we all adjust our energy in different ways. Some people adjust it through movement, some people adjust it through talk, some people adjust it through song or words. For me as a claircognizant, it's a much more subtle thing. I tend to adjust the energy by having the awareness, and then I move things around in imaginal space, just in the space that's around me. So for me, I caught this sending my energy out to my business, and I brought it back into myself, and I'm listening for my own energy field to see how it creates its own loop within me. When I did that, I could feel the integrity of my energy and the integrity of my business's energy solidify. I feel more clear and I feel more able to make decisions even though I may not have clear answers. That's often what we're looking for when we're trying to grow our business, is trying to find the answers that work for us and that are going to work for others, because that's why we put programs out. And there's this delicate balance between the two. And if you do energy work, or if you're intuitive, or you do work that's in the transformational field, you know that this is a delicate balance that we walk, because we want to do something for us and we want to do something that's going to benefit others. And here's the third thing that's coming into play for all of us, is we're now learning and figuring out how to navigate the new Earth 5D energies. Because the way that energy is creating reality for us, the way it's permeating the world, the way we are walking through it now, is so completely different, even though we've not had an opportunity to know what it's like to be in it and not be in it. It's slowly been, it's like being the frog in the frying pan. It's slowly been showing up, and so we're in it. And it's hard to remember what it was like to not be in it, but to be in 5D energies and New Earth and be working as an intuitive or an empath or a coach or a transformational person of any kind. The way we are being asked to move our energies, to use our intuition, to create in the world is different to accommodate this new Earth energy. And this ties when I talk about wanting to grow my business. All of these pieces come together in a really unique pattern. So if I had been speaking to you about this, let's say 10 years ago, I would be speaking from a much more mental, structured, let me teach you this. Learn that you can send your energy out to your business, and it's a pattern that you can break because it is diminishing you and diminishing the outcomes you can have on your business. Today, in this energy, what I'm saying is the possibilities and the way we're moving energy now is so very integral to all of what we're creating that it's almost as though we need to develop this skill, this awareness of how we move energy, because it's going to be how we determine everything going forward. You know how people can say they can sense others, like you can be in a room where there's been a fight and you can sense something's been going on, or you can be reading something on social and notice, like, I don't know that I really believe that person. We have the capacity to sense so much more and be aware that we're sensing so much more. Now we need to make this conscious. Now we need to put it into a structure and understand that this plays out in all the things we do. That's what the awareness was for me in recognizing I've been empathing my business. It made me stop to realize I'm conscious. It's super important for me to be in alignment and in integrity with my energy and with my principles and values. When I said that before, when I said I really want to be in alignment with my energy, I always thought it just meant feeling myself, feeling how it felt when I considered this thing, and it felt like it was more like an emotional feeling, like that feels right. Now I'm recognizing there's a larger field of energy that I have a responsibility to. This larger field of energy is my energy. It's my energy in my physical body, but it's also my energy that is existing within the more expanded soul self, spirit self that I am. And those two aspects of me, like the spirit aspect of me and the human aspect of me, are now more intertwined and more connected and more able to communicate and operate together than they ever have been before. That veil that people used to talk about, a veil, I'm sure we still talk about a veil, but the veil between the two doesn't exist anymore. So my human self can, with intention and meditation and quietness, really be able to connect with, synchronize with, harmonize with the energies that are the larger, more expanded aspect of me, the me that exists in the field of universal creation. Which means that as I choose to create in my business, if I can line up my field with all of me, then all the things I want to create in my business are going to happen with far greater ease, and they're going to feel clearer, and they're going to be far more supportive in the world than if I had been trying to do it from my little human self, working from my little habits and my old compensating patterns. I hope this has been helpful to you. I would really appreciate any comments or feedback. And as we come to the end, there are a couple of things. One, I want you all to know that this podcast is connected to my Substack blog and email. So all these things happen at the same time. The blog that I write is pretty close to what I speak, but not often exactly the same. So today's message is quite different. The main core content is the same as what you'll find on my Substack written. But this particular share has been very much unique to the moment and the time and what felt important to share with you all today. Another big note for you all is I'm committing to every Tuesday. So every Tuesday you'll hear from me on information related to what it is to be in business as an intuitive woman and work with energy, intuition, and grow your business. So in the new Earth 5D energies. So every Tuesday, this is a big move for me because I've always resisted being consistent in that way and just letting energies move. That's going to change going forward, starting today. Also, number 2, I really want everybody to know that in August, I have 3 spots open for my Activate Emergence program, and that program is specifically designed to support you in a one-on-one capacity to connect and harmonize and activate all of your energy fields so that you can work through these new earth energies, which I call emergence energies, because I think that's exactly what we're doing. It's highly personalized. It is a 6-week program, super supportive with 3 calls. If you're interested, please be sure and reach out to me via DM or message me within the Substack blog. Also, lastly, I'm really thinking about starting a new group program similar to my Activate Emergence, where it will be more about community and group support for the expansion of our energies as intuitive, sensitive women growing our business. So if this sounds interesting to you, will you let me know so I can get a sense of what kind of interest there is for this? And that brings us to an end. I hope this was helpful for you and it opened your eyes to some new things. And if it was, please share it with a friend. Until next Tuesday, you all, we'll see ya.